Well, welcome everyone to the Legal Futures FATCA and CRS, When Are They Relevant to Your Trusts webinar, presented by me, Jill Steele of Law Skills Limited. So many acronyms, how awful is that? But I know from talking to many practitioners that engaging with these two automatic exchange of information systems, FATCA and CRS, is not something you find easy. There is a lot of jargon involved, and as it concerns foreign jurisdictions, which many trusts you administer will have nothing to do with, you often wonder why you have to engage with it at all. But sadly, this is no excuse for failing to get to grips with this topic, as many organisations you do business with will assume you are familiar with the rules of both registration and reporting. And not complying with these automatic exchange of information systems is simply not an option for trustees. HMRC will impose penalties for not reporting on any trusts, which would fall under either of these two regimes. And there are also, from your client's point of view, withholding tax implications as well, because many UK trusts will have US source income and will suffer withholding tax if the trust is not registered. So basically it's important to register and then obviously report, but it may be that you don't have to report, as we'll explain in a little while. And why would many UK trusts have US shares? Well, quite simply, US shares can come about through demergers, acquisitions, takeovers, etc. by other companies of UK companies. And so Vodafone and Verizon was a classic where many share portfolios included the UK company Vodafone, but it was then taken over, and so we ended up with shareholdings from a US company. So you've always got to be on the lookout for these things, I'm afraid, as a result. So the webinar today is to remind practitioners of the operation of both FATCA and CRS to UK trusts, and consider by way of an example the relevance to a typical English trust under administration, so you hopefully get a better feeling for how it applies. As a result of listening, participants taking part will be able to recognise when a trust needs to be registered under FATCA or CRS and attend to the reporting as applicable. That's the goal of this session. So I've used a simple case study by way of an example in talking about these issues. So we'll start first of all with familiarising ourselves with the facts before we then dive into exploring both FATCA and the Common Reporting Standard, CRS. And then I'll finish with some suggestions for you to include in a file review checklist, which I strongly recommend you adopt because it demonstrates your understanding of the situation should there ever be any query.